On a cold December morning in 2008, the phones on Wall Street wouldn't stop ringing. Investors were calling in panic. Some wanted answers, others wanted their money back. But no one could have imagined that one man had just admitted to running what would become the largest investment fraud in history. His name was Bernie Madoff. For decades, he wasn't seen as a criminal. He was seen as a financial genius, a respected businessman, a trusted advisor, a man who seemed to know the secret to making money no matter what the stock market was doing. People believed him without question, and that trust would cost thousands of families everything. This is the story of how one of the most respected names on Wall Street became the face of the biggest Ponzi scheme ever uncovered. To understand how it happened, we need to go back to the beginning. Bernard Lawrence Madoff was born in New York City in 1938. He didn't come from a wealthy family. Like many ambitious young Americans, he dreamed of building something successful. In 1960, using savings he had earned from summer jobs and a small loan from his family, Madoff started his own investment firm. It was a modest beginning. No luxurious office, no famous clients, just a young entrepreneur trying to make himself a name in the financial world. At first, business was slow, but Bernie Madoff had one quality that attracted people. He inspired confidence. He spoke calmly. He dressed professionally. He always seemed certain. In the world of investing, confidence can be just as powerful as results. Over the years, his company grew. Technology was changing Wall Street, and Madoff embraced it early. His firm became known for using electronic trading systems before many competitors did. This helped build his reputation as an innovator. Soon, major banks, investment firms, and wealthy individuals wanted to work with him. His influence continued to grow. Eventually, he even served as chairman of the NASDAQ stock market, one of the most important stock exchanges in the world. That title made him appear almost untouchable. If someone had asked in the 1990s, "Can Bernie Madoff be trusted?" most people would have answered, "Of course." After all, why would one of Wall Street's most respected figures risk everything? His clients came from every corner of society: successful business owners, doctors, lawyers, celebrities, professional athletes, charities, universities, even retirement funds. Many people weren't simply looking for high returns, they were looking for safety. And Bernie Madoff promised exactly that. His investment results seemed almost magical. Year after year, while other investors experienced losses during market downturns, Madoff's clients often received positive returns. Not enormous profits, just steady, consistent growth. 5%, 8%, 10%. Enough to make people happy, but not so much that it seemed impossible. That was one of his greatest tricks. He never promised to make people unbelievably rich overnight. Instead, he offered something that sounded far more believable: consistency. Investors loved it because consistency feels safe. As his reputation grew, something unusual began to happen. People started asking for permission to invest with him. Normally, investment firms compete for clients. Bernie Madoff's firm seemed to do the opposite. Not everyone was accepted. Some investors were placed on waiting lists. Others were told they needed a recommendation from an existing client. This created a sense of exclusivity. People believed they were joining a private club, and when something feels exclusive, it often becomes even more desirable. Clients proudly told friends that Bernie Madoff was managing their money. Those friends wanted in too. Trust spread from one family to another, from one business partner to another, from one generation to the next. There was just one problem. Very few people actually understood how Bernie Madoff was making his money. When clients asked about his investment strategy, The explanations were often vague, complex financial language, technical terms, confusing details. Most people didn't question it because they assumed that someone so successful must know what he was doing, and that's a dangerous assumption. History has shown that intelligence should never replace verification. Then came the year that changed everything, 2008. The global financial crisis shook markets around the world. Stock prices collapsed, banks struggled, investors became frightened, and for the first time in years, thousands of Madoff's clients wanted their money back, billions of dollars, immediately. It was a request that would expose a secret hidden for decades. Because behind the impressive offices, the respected reputation, and the image of financial success, there was a truth so shocking that it would leave the entire world in disbelief.
For years, Bernie Madoff had convinced thousands of people that their investments were growing steadily. Every month, clients received professional-looking account statements. The numbers always looked impressive. Even during stock market crashes, their balances somehow continued to rise. To investors, it felt almost unbelievable. But because Bernie Madoff had earned decades of trust, very few people questioned it. The truth was far simpler and far more dangerous. There were no extraordinary investment strategies. There was no secret system that could beat the market every year. In many cases, the trades shown on client statements had never happened. The profits existed only on paper. This type of fraud has a name, a Ponzi scheme. The idea is surprisingly simple. Imagine 10 people each invest $1 million. Instead of investing that money, the fraudster keeps it. When the first investors ask for their profits, the fraudster doesn't use investment returns. He uses money from new investors. As long as new money keeps flowing in, everything appears normal. Early investors receive payments. They tell their friends. Those friends invest. More money enters the system. The cycle continues. But there's one fatal flaw. If too many people ask for their money at the same time, the entire system collapses because the money simply isn't there. Bernie Madoff perfected this deception. His office looked like a successful investment firm. Employees answered phones. Paperwork was organized. Clients received detailed reports. Everything appeared legitimate. Behind the scenes, a small group of trusted employees created fake account statements, fake trading records, fake profits. Every document was carefully designed to make the business look real. Most investors never suspected anything because everything they saw confirmed what they already believed. Trust became Madoff's most valuable asset. Many of his clients had been with him for years. Some had trusted him for decades. Parents encouraged their children to invest. Friends recommended him to friends. Entire communities placed their savings in his hands. Some charities invested millions. Retirement funds depended on him. For many families, their life savings were tied to a single man. Ironically, people believed Bernie Madoff was a safe investment, not because he promised huge profits, but because he promised stable ones. That made the fraud even more convincing. Not everyone was fooled. One man refused to believe the numbers. Financial analyst Harry Markopolos studied Madoff's reported returns for years. The more he analyzed them, the more they seemed impossible. He concluded that the returns were mathematically unrealistic. Markets don't move in perfect patterns. Even the world's greatest investors experience losing months, yet Madoff seemed to avoid them. Again and again, Markopolos warned regulators. He submitted detailed reports explaining why he believed Madoff was running a fraud. But the warnings received little attention. Some investigators trusted Madoff's reputation more than the evidence. Others believed someone so famous could never risk such a massive crime. it was a costly mistake. Then came the global financial crisis of 2008. Banks failed, stock markets crashed, fear spread across the financial world. Suddenly, thousands of investors wanted to withdraw their money. Together, they requested billions of dollars. For the first time, Bernie Madoff couldn't keep the illusion alive. There weren't enough new investors to pay the old ones. The scheme had reached its breaking point. The money was gone. Most of it had never been invested at all. On December 10, 2008, Bernie Madoff made a confession that stunned even his own family. He admitted that his investment business was one big lie. His sons were shocked. The next morning, they contacted authorities. Within hours, FBI agents arrested Bernie Madoff. The man, once celebrated as one of Wall Street's greatest investors, was now accused of running the biggest investment fraud in history. The world watched in disbelief. The trusted financial genius had been hiding one of the greatest deceptions ever uncovered. But the biggest shock was still to come. Investigators were about to discover the true scale of the damage.
When investigators finally examined Bernie Madoff's business, the truth was even worse than they had imagined. For years, clients believed they owned successful investments worth billions of dollars. But much of that wealth existed only on paper. The account statements were fake. The profits were fake. The success story was fake. It had all been built on one thing: trust. Authorities soon estimated that the fraud involved around $65 billion in fake account balances, making it the largest Ponzi scheme ever uncovered. Thousands of victims were affected. Some were wealthy investors. Others were ordinary people who had spent decades saving for retirement. Many charities lost money meant for hospitals, schools, and community programs. Small business owners watched their life savings disappear. Retired couples who believed they were financially secure suddenly faced an uncertain future. For many families, it wasn't just money they lost. It was their sense of security, their future plans, their trust in the financial system. In 2009, Bernie Madoff appeared in court. He pleaded guilty to multiple federal crimes, including fraud, money laundering, and perjury. The judge sentenced him to 150 years in federal prison, the maximum sentence allowed. It sent a clear message: no matter how powerful or respected someone appears, no one is above the law. Investigators worked for years to recover money for victims. Some funds were returned through asset recovery and legal settlements. But for many people, the losses could never be fully repaired. Years of savings, gone forever. The Madoff scandal also exposed serious weaknesses in financial oversight. Many people asked the same question: how could this happen for so long? The answer wasn't simple. Warning signs had existed. Independent analysts had raised concerns, but reputation often outweighed evidence. People assumed that because Madoff was successful, he had to be honest. That assumption proved disastrous. After the scandal, regulators introduced stronger oversight and stricter compliance measures to help reduce the risk of similar frauds in the future. The biggest lesson from this story isn't about Wall Street. It's about human psychology. Scammers don't always rely on complicated tricks. They rely on trust. They build credibility. They create the appearance of success. And once people stop asking questions, the deception becomes much easier. Whether it's a billion-dollar investment firm, a cryptocurrency project, or an online business promising guaranteed profits, the warning signs are often the same. If something sounds too consistent, too safe, or too good to be true, it deserves careful scrutiny. Bernie Madoff's story remains one of the most important financial lessons in modern history. It reminds us that reputation is not proof, confidence is not evidence, and popularity is not protection against fraud. The world's biggest scam didn't begin with sophisticated technology. It began with a simple promise: trust me. And thousands of people did. If this documentary taught us anything, it's that protecting your money begins with asking difficult questions, verifying the facts, and never investing based on reputation alone. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary and want more true stories about billion-dollar companies, corporate scandals, famous scams, and business history, subscribe for the next episode. Because sometimes, the most unbelievable business stories are completely true.